Yeah, so let's start with the study with intent every day. So what do you mean by that?
I think it's one of the more important tips that I think students should really understand. So I feel that a lot of people nowadays, at least back in my time, I used to just start every day without a plan, without really knowing what to do. I just did what I felt like doing. And while that makes you feel okay, I feel that it's not really a good way to go. I feel that having a concrete plan is incredibly important, especially when preparing for such a high stakes exam. So what I would advise people to do is the day before or the night before, probably should have a plan. Maybe not a super in-depth detailed plan. I would say more likely what you plan to accomplish that day, and you look at your current day and what you have not accomplished, and you sort of build on that and make sure you get all your work that needs to be done before you go for the exam. One of the biggest hurdle is having a proper schedule. And once you have a proper schedule and you study with intent, a lot of the stresses of A levels goes away.
How can we actually help these group of students who has the intent, who knows what to do, okay, but they somehow lack the self-discipline or lack the motivation to complete their tasks?
I struggle with that a lot also. I have a very short attention span. So basically, I would say you need to understand yourself and know which times are you most productive and, maximize those times. So for a lot of people, right after they eat, they feel very sluggish. If you know that, I would say just take a nap then. But then in the morning, like maybe 1 hour after you wake up, that's your go time. I would ask you to study with full focus and intent, put away your phone. So that you won't be distracted. For those who like to procrastinate a lot, use this thing known as a Pomodoro timer. It's like
what's that?
It's just a timer. Basically,
okay.
It's 25 minutes of work to 5 minutes of rest. So you don't really have to think of studying of 5 hours a day or anything like that. So just go by 25-minute chunks at each time. It's a lot more manageable. You just have to set a goal for yourself before each Pomodoro. You want to get through 5 pages of this, or you want to get through 10 questions, and then just go ahead and achieve it during the Pomodoro. So that will get rid of the activation energies, as you speak.
Okay.
Because when you look at a big pile of work, you're probably gonna procrastinate and think that you can't really do this, and then just go on to YouTube. But if you just think of 10 questions, 25 minutes, then you're much likely to just go ahead. And your plan and what you do has to be aligned to your long-term goals also. You have to think of yourself in another year, because I know a lot of people who regret not studying for A levels, during the army, and then they feel then they want to go retake A levels, and then you have to understand that the effort you put now is basically going to be translated into your future, and it's a lot better and easier to study now when you have the proper infrastructure and resources.
And no U-turns.
Yeah, no U-turns.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay. So am I right to say that it's really to break down the objective into bite size, into 30 minutes, okay, so that you will take baby steps to achieve that instead of being overly ambitious to tackle one whole 5 hours?
Definitely, that's one of the biggest, most important things that really helps. And just another thing, if I can just add, if people are struggling with COVID-19, not having people to study with or something, there are a lot of YouTube videos on study with me. So people study in the background, and then so you can just have that video on while you do your own work, so if at least you feel like someone else is studying there with you.
Oh, cool! So I didn't know that. Cool. Okay, that's a very great insight. Thanks for sharing.